What's up, traders? Another one here from the Dark Side family. And in this video, I want to talk about something a little less complicated for a change. Want to get away from all the technical stuff, and I want to bring us back to a much simpler way of looking at the market. And it's something that I think everybody can utilize. A lot of the times, I fail to realize that I'm talking to the entire world, and I fail to realize that everybody's at a different trading level. And rather than leave you guys confused, I'd really like to kind of slow it down a bit and simplify a trading strategy or an idea or an outlook, if you want to call it that, that you can easily start to apply to your trading. And what that is that's basically support and resistance. And it's so what's the word? It's just undervalued. There's so much value in support and resistance, and just it's become this thing that people think that if you trade that way that you don't know what you're doing for some reason. But it's the opposite, and I'm gonna walk you through a couple examples, and like always, apply them to your charts. See if you can make them work for you. Again, we use everything. I trade every type of way you can imagine. I've been there, I've done that, and I appreciate everything. It's just I don't build a career off of one particular thing. I use everything. That's how we work. But again, if we're talking about structure, and let's just identify some support and resistance areas just so people can understand. And I'm literally drawing random lines here. So there's no, we could find them either way. So if we're kind of going to look for support and resistance, the first area I would consider a support and resistance area would be right about here. Just clean this up a bit. And the reason why I say that is because price came to that area right about here, as we can see, and then right about here. So what they would say is that this area is acting as resistance. In other words, it's resisting price. It won't let it exceed. It turns from there. It happened once, and then it happens here again. So this is what we consider a value, a valuable resistance area, one that actually makes sense, one that you can utilize possibly in the future. And then we'll look for another one. We'll just clone this real quick. And if we look simply, again, it's just a random chart that I drew, but you can see how easily these things start to come alive. Here we have another zone. Why? We're going to call this support because price was supported by this area, couldn't break through it. So there's support. Then we have support where price broke through, turned resistance. Support, turned resistance. That's another area. Here's another area of this area acting up as well. So when you think about it, guys, this stuff is actually how the market moves against other strategies. For example, if we're gonna let's just call it like this, right? If these are our swing points, again, this is a random drawing we just did together. If these are our structural swing points, right? Higher highs, higher lows, and we'll just follow them along. We got the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, a push to the upside. It's funny because you can almost see the smart money traps that are in here because this was probably would be a 4 hour order block or something like that where you would see the fake reaction and then they come take their money. Now if you were a structural trader, think about that, okay? If this was an order block, okay, and this very, very well could be an order block very easily because I'll illustrate it real quick just to make it a little bit more clear. This is what they would call, okay, they would call this what? The decisional order block and the extreme order block. So smart money concept traders, they would gamble here, hope it goes right, and if it doesn't go right, they'd gamble here again and hope that one goes right. So it's funny because they figure their strategy is superior or they're better than retail or support and resistance guys, but in reality, a support and resistance guy would never ever lose on this trade. They would never lose on that trade because they would be waiting for price to reach where? They'd be waiting for price to reach the resistance area. Okay, now if they try to get in here, they might take a loss on this push, maybe sell from here and catch the move. Okay, but they would never take that decisional order block loss because they'd be watching for this the support resistance area. You see, and that's why no strategy is superior to the other. It's all about whose turn is it to work today. Because remember, guys, if support and resistance didn't work like it does here, like it does here, like it does here, like it does here, if it didn't work sometimes, like it does all these areas, if it didn't work like that, nobody would trade it. They need it to work sometimes. That's why a casino, you go to a slot machine, People win sometimes, or nobody would put their money in there. If smart money if order blocks, decisional order blocks didn't work sometimes, nobody would put their money in them. So they have to work sometimes. So when you see us post a trade and you guys say, "Oh, you're trading smart money," yeah, I'll trade smart money when I know it's going to work that time, of course. And then you know what? I'll go against smart money and rip their heads off when I know it's not going to work because I just go with the flow. And it's a different way of trading. I'll trade a trend line. I'll trade support and resistance. I'll trade anything when I know it's going to work. And when I know it's not going to work, I'll avoid it. And it's very simple. But trying to fix the same problem with the same tool every time, it's not going to work because you're going to have different issues, different things, and you're going to have to learn to go with the flow, like we always say. And that's why there's trading support and resistance is really not a bad idea. It'll help you get an understanding of what a stop hunt and what liquidity grabs and all that stuff really is. Because if you look at it like this, right? If this is a support resistance, let's just draw some lines, okay? And you're watching ascending structure, and it goes like this, and price breaks structure to the downside. Okay, so let's just identify the structure. Let's just go here to here, 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 here. Price breaks structure to the downside, right? It broke the structure. Now look at it like this. Price broke structure, okay? Go back real quick. Price broke structure, and you've got an order block, your decisional order block right here. That's your decisional order block like we just spoke about. This is your extreme order block right here. Okay, both of those, decisional order block. All right, and then this is support and resistance, guys. Okay, so when they come up in here and price hits here, support and resistance once again to the market. So they try to get into the market. Things go right for a little while. They open up their sell. You know how it goes. They open up their sell. They put their stop, whatever. Things go right for a little while. Then they get their heads ripped off. The price runs up into here. You see? Now, when price comes up into here, you got to understand now it wasn't support and resistance turn to work that day. It's not for them. This week is not for them. This is for smart money. This is for those guys, okay? So now price is going to run up into this area, okay? And as it pushes up into here, now it gives smart money concepts the opportunity to enter the market. So maybe it's their turn this week. All right, and maybe price goes with them for a little while, okay, and you'll see a little reaction, and then maybe that doesn't work either, and it pushes up one more time. So they're going to get smart money in there again. This is how the market works, guys. These are called cycles, okay? These are daily cycles. This might be Monday's move. This might be Tuesday's move. This might be Wednesday's move, and then Thursday could show a sell-off. These are cycles, okay? So if price is now here, again, support and resistance may have taken a loss again right here. Because if we move this right here, we'll see that not only was it a decisional order block, but again, it's an area where price rejected, broke, came down, probably lured them into the market, and took them out. You see, so support and resistance didn't work there. And then maybe the sell-off actually does take place here this time, okay? And think about what that's going to do. Okay, let's say the sell-off works, all right? Let's say the sell-off works. Remember, we've got break structure. We've got, you can call this a supply area, a demand area, an imbalance, order block. If you're a retail trader, you could even call, I'm sure you would still be looking at this as, again, as another support and resistance area. Because why is that? Because very simple. Very simple. There's no rule saying that has to be an order block. It's because price came up, found resistance, came back up, found resistance. So if this sells off, that's great news. Because now you've got support and resistance guys that are happy. You've got smart money order block guys, imbalance guys, demand level buy guys, all those people, they're happy. You've got your double top, okay? There's your one, there's your two. You've got your double top people that everybody's happy. Everybody's in the market, everybody's making money. So that's how the market works. It's going to do that on certain days because it has to. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't keep putting your money into it. How else are we going to take your money if we just keep crushing you all the time? We got to give you some smile, some happiness at some point, and that's the way the market works, unfortunately. Because remember, it's two-dimensional. So as you guys, let's just say you're on the right side of the market this time. You're a double top seller, a support and resistance seller, a order block, smart money concept seller, whatever it is that you call it, okay? When you're doing that, and you're winning, remember what we said in our previous video about being two-dimensional, okay? And being a zero-sum market. In other words, it only goes up and down. Somebody only wins when somebody else loses. So when price is coming down, what else is happening? Remember, somebody else who's seeing the market differently than you is getting ready to lose because it's your turn to win this week. So that next week they can take all your money because you're going to do the same shit. You see? So when you come into here now the buyers that bought the trend line, they're going to lose today. They're going to lose and they're going to be sad because it's a bad day. Their strategy doesn't work. Who else is going to lose? The low time frame order block imbalance guys because they're seeing ascending structure. So they're going to look to hit this zone right here. They're going to look to buy. They're all going to lose. It's their week to lose, their day to lose. Sometimes it's your month to lose. And I'm sure you guys know because I'm sure you've had a decent month. And then you've had another month where it seems like you have absolutely no idea what you're doing and you've never traded in your entire life. But again, that's not your fault. That's the way the market works. If you use the same system, the same strategy, you just have to wait for it to be your turn to win. And obviously, there's going to be much more of a time when it's your turn to lose because the market is not here to give you money. It is here to take your money, just like a casino. Just like a casino. It's the same thing. But you got to win sometimes, otherwise, nobody would go, right? Exactly. So as these people are getting ready to lose, it's a very different place for them. They don't understand because they're not looking at it the same way as you. So here we have another set of people getting ready to come on the market. Remember, as price comes down here, it breaks structure to the upside. So you've got other smart money people that are looking in this area that want to do what? They want to buy. So you'll see maybe a reaction from here, and then it'll just rip their heads off as well. You understand? If it's going to continue in that direction, if it's their day to win, because every day is a new situation. Every time frame has a new cycle taking place. Every week, every news announcement, every little thing is all orchestrated into a much larger plan than you think. Because what looks like something on the 1 minute is actually developing something else on the daily. You see, and the market, it just gets so deep, man, when you look into it. But I'll tell you what, it's so exciting and it's so much fun once you really understand what's going on and you get away from the rules and the strategies and all that, and you really learn to read price action the way we do. And that's exactly what we do. We read price action. We've had a lot of people writing to us lately. Dark side. Oh, what happens if your strategy leaks or that? We don't have any strategy to leak. We look at a market a certain way and we go with the flow of the market. The only thing that's happening really is more people are doing the same things, which is so easy when you trade like a predator the way we do. It's like more sheep are sticking together. So it's so easy because now when I go to attack, if there's 50 sheep, I have a 1 to 50 chance. That's fine. Maybe I'll get one. But if there's 10,000 sheep, please believe I'm going to catch one every single time. So the more people that herd into smart money, they herd into supply and demand, they herd into whatever other course is coming out. That's just all you guys are just making it so easy to just continue to take your money. And that's exactly what the algorithm does. The algorithm just allows strategy to hurt everybody. It allows strategy, whatever's popular, and it becomes the watering hole. Here's the water, and here's all the little animals, all the little traders around the watering hole. All you guys are gathered around the order block, okay? You don't think the lion knows to come and attack the order block because that's where everybody is waiting. It's so easy. There's nothing even to it. Now back in the day, it used to be what? It used to be like this. It used to be exactly like this for those people who've been trading for a while. It used to be 61.8. 61.8 was the watering hole. Price comes down here. This is the watering hole. This is where all the animals, all the traders gather, and they would all put their bets in because it is betting because they have no clue what's really taking place. They're betting on this level. And what happens? The algorithm comes in like a lion and just kills everything because you guys all gathered at 61.8. So the more people that keep gathering at order blocks, gathering at demand levels, gathering at it's just so easy to just come take your money, And I know that sounds a little crazy right now, especially if you're new to trading. But trust me, as you gain some experience, come back to this channel. Okay, you think that we say smart money doesn't work, this doesn't work, we don't know what we're talking about. That's the comments that we don't know how to trade smart money. Like, man, honestly, it just shows me how new you are to trading, and you obviously haven't properly back tested or done any real data or research. Because if you did, then you would realize you're coming to the same conclusion as we are. And it's nothing that I took ICT. I learned all that stuff too. I wish it would have worked. I would have been making money a long time ago. But it didn't. It cost me a lot of money. I lost a lot of money, and I had to evolve from that. But that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Certain people can understand it. Certain people are naive. But eventually, everybody will see what we're talking about if you hang in there long enough. So, wish you guys all the best. Hope you got some value. Talk to you soon.